I guess I just have to assume that it's working because it says it is. So I'll just trust that. I just trust everyone and everything all the time as a rule. I start by default by thinking you're great, you're awesome, you smell good. But after a while, I start to notice you smell bad. I do have, maybe you can call it a disorder if you want. If this means I can get a handicap placard, that'd be great. But when I'm exposed to a particular odor for long enough, I just become completely oblivious to it. Attendant to that is the paranoia that I stink all the time and I don't know it, even though I shower daily. So what's the concern? My concern is that my clothes, sometimes when they get wet, they smell bad forever. They get wet once, they never forget it. Pants never forget rain. It sounds very beautiful, but it's not. It's just a brute fact of life that we have to live with. But life isn't all bad, you know. There's airplane. You can go in an airplane. I don't care what anyone says, but going on a plane is so fun. And if you don't think it's fun, you're completely wrong. Assuming it all goes according to plan. Other than that, what's the problem? What is the problem? If you don't like flying, what is your deal? What are you look inside yourself? Maybe you're afraid of the airplane inside of you. If you're one of my haters, you know, you're the kind of person who would do this, but please do not fly a plane into my address. If you ever figure it out, don't do that. It's my number one fear in life. That and a turtle disease. It's exactly what it sounds like, but it's actually a neurological disease, and it makes you kind of like think that you're a turtle. And it's really quite tragic because there's no cure. Like, you hear a loved one is diagnosed with turtle disease, and you think that's terrible, but I'm glad it's at least a funny one. I have quite a bit of turtle disease in the familial genetic pool. So I expect to be turning into thinking I'm a turtle any day now. And I keep thinking, you know, the day I want to start paddling around in a pond, I'm gonna say, you know what, just take me out. I don't want to think I'm a turtle. But then I also think, well, when I'm a turtle, I'm not gonna really care. All I'm gonna want to do is like chew on leaves and stuff. It really doesn't seem that bad. I'm over it. I've accepted my fate, and yeah, I am gonna become a member of the Turtle Club, a proud member. Why do I make things up on here? I should just tell the truth. Okay, I'll tell you the truth. But first, a word from our sponsor, Honda. You can buy these fuckers in yellow, Honda. Wow. We're straight to the point. That's what good advertising is supposed to be. Whatever happened to that? Whatever happened to the Don Draper inspiration in advertising? If you're one of those guys who got sent here from the Heinz message boards, you know, those ketchup fans, because that shit I said about ketchup, that was 20 years ago. It's time to let it go. I'm still getting death threats in my email. I've changed my email. My home has been broken into. And do you know how I know who did it? I think you can guess. Because they left behind a signature substance, a condiment, if you will. They got posses. And you know, I'm not gonna repeat what I said about ketchup, because I feel like my comments speak for themselves, my words speak for themselves. And so I just want to put that to bed, and I want to put this plea out in the spirit of unity in the world right now. Ketchup gang, let's just call it a truce. You've ruined my life, you ruined my career, you ruined my marriage, you ruined my visit to Six Flags. You sent one of your assassins after me with what looked like a water bottle, but it was filled with ketchup, and you came by and you squirted it all over my ice cream. And then he whispered in my ear, "I know what you said. I know who you are." So, I'm sorry I'm sorry for the first time. I'm sorry for what I said about ketchup. I 100% stand by what I said about mustard, though. Completely. Honey mustard especially. So I'm here to share some tips, some business tips if you're trying to get by in this difficult economy. My first tip to you would be just find a good cave. Dig in the cave until you find treasure. Don't worry about any of the skeletons. They're not gonna come up and attack you. They're dead guys. So hopefully you find treasure and you can just live off that. And what you could probably do is make like sort of a little home in the cave. You could just live there. That way you can keep the treasure for yourself and covet it. Not unlike, I don't know, maybe like a golem type of creature or a Smeagol. Maybe you could become a Smeagol. So that's the only tip I have actually for surviving in the economy. So be a Smeagol. You shouldn't be afraid of the airplane in yourself, and you shouldn't be afraid of the Smeagol in yourself. Everybody has a little Smeagol guy. They have a little critter in there. They have a little gremlin man. So this is my new character. I'm doing a world debut, and this is really a culmination of a lot of work. I've set aside a lot of time trying to really perfect this and really hone it, and I'm really excited to show you guys this new character that I thought of. So this character, the name, it's a working title, but it's the guy who refers to food as groceries. And basically a little bit of background on this guy is basically he thinks that even when you take the food from the grocery store and out of the bag and you consume it, at no point does it ever stop being groceries. He doesn't understand that there's a next step the food takes where it becomes like food. And then it becomes like dinner or breakfast. All the meals of the day, one of those. You don't continue to call them groceries unless you're this guy. And here's how that might go. Focus. Oh, those are some delicious groceries that you just cooked up for me. I appreciate that. Hey, do you want to come over? I got the fucking excellent groceries. Do you want to come eat every single one of these groceries? So and so on and so forth. You get the picture. It's pretty good. Pretty fucking good, right? You're not gonna see this anywhere. You're not even gonna see like this actual thing. And so does it truly exist if it's never seen, never consumed? It's a valid question. And the answer? Coming up after this break. Frogs. Frogs are a lifestyle. Frogs are an inspiration. Frogs are the little green guys of our life. Go to frogs.com to learn more. Frogs. Wow, what an excellent message that I think people everywhere need to hear. Why does it say 1 minute 52 seconds? Is there any reason for this? I've never been this confused in my life. The only time I can think of that I was this confused was the day that I was born. I popped out, I was looking around, like looking back in retrospect, like I'm trying to think of what I could have done better being born as a baby, like better attitudes I could have had. Maybe I should have gooed a little more and got a little less. Everything I do in my diaper, I'm over-analyzing it, like I'm like, I can do better than this. And I did. See, I set goals. I told myself, I'm gonna stop needing a diaper. I told myself I'm gonna figure out how to walk. It's kind of weird, like, as a kid, like, when you're learning how to walk. I guess it's probably fun, but also, on the other hand, it's like, I'm getting by fine without this. Why do you need to walk if somebody just carries you around everywhere? Like, if I'm thinking smarter and not harder, I'm thinking I'm just gonna skip that part, and I'm just gonna stick with the status quo. It seems to be, pretty good. But then they're like, no, you have to walk yourself. And from that point on, things just go downhill. And we should all be happy that we have legs instead of, I don't know, imagine getting around like snail style. It's completely impossible for like a snail to do a crime or to not be traced anywhere. You want to talk about like privacy and like government spying. Snails they're leaving a slime trail fucking everywhere. Makes it impossible to have any discretion in one's life. Think about it. Think about the things you do. You think, I'm glad I didn't leave a slime trail. Every time like something regrettable happens to me, or I don't want someone to know I'm in a particular place, my prevailing thought is always, I'm so glad I'm not leaving a slime trail right now. And it's like, it's just something to like be grateful for. You should practice being grateful. That's one way to do it. You can also say some shit at Thanksgiving. I guess it means more if there's a turkey in front of you. I guess the turkey makes it more real. Actually, when you say grace, that's what makes it more real. Saying grace, it's kind of strange, it's kind of eerie. Because it never feels natural. Because it doesn't happen enough. Like in my family, it happens at like Christmas and Thanksgiving and maybe Easter. I mean, I guess I get the intention behind it, but it's hard to be grateful when you're like hearing words that being said. Look, maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I just shouldn't do anything with words. Maybe from now on, I'm just gonna communicate in like semaphore. I'm gonna carry around a bunch of flags I'm gonna hold up like I'm a ship. If I signal that I'm in distress, it just means I'm hungry. And if you have like chips or a granola bar or something on you, I'd like to have some. Everybody should have at least a granola bar on them at all times. As for myself, I've never done that in my entire life, but I'm thinking, like, wouldn't it be a good idea? You should always have a granola bar on you. I wish I could commit to this, but it would be such a lifestyle change that I'm not ready to commit to something. I'm not going to be a carry a granola bar around everywhere guy. Like, I don't want to become a type of guy, unless I'm being like compensated or something. But other than that, maybe Kind can live up to their namesake and give me money for promoting the idea of carrying a granola bar. And I do like the Kind. I have the honey oat every morning. I mean, it's food. What do you want from me? You put it in your mouth, you chew it. It goes down your esophagus. And it gets absorbed in your stomach acid, and the shit you don't need is literally just shit. Your body says, this is no good, this is literally shit. Your body says this, and don't come back, it says, and it pushes it right out. With a little bit of help from me, I'm trying to help everything that's going on down there. I'm trying to help everybody. I'm trying to help all the organs do what they need to do. They all need different shit at different times. It's a lot of responsibility having a human body. And what's funny is the majority of people who have them, like 95% of them, are not up to the task. We're just not interested. Like, we don't even care. We don't even think about it. And I used to kind of be of the opinion that, like, well, your primary thing should be to, like, just try to live as long as possible. But now I think that's kind of insane. And I picked up on that because I started noticing that insane people were very focused on longevity, like the Peter Thiel type of guys, the guys who have way too much money. It's not like a high score in terms of longevity. It's not really the point. However, I do still do like do basic things just to maintain at least what I have going on, because it's pretty much fine physically. Because number one, pain, I don't know if you know about it, but it's bad and it sucks. So number two, I don't want to pay anyone to do anything about it. So I mean, of course it happens eventually. So here's my theory about what happens after you die. I think that your skeleton jumps out of your body, your skeleton becomes alive, and your skeleton has two choices. It can go to bone hell, or it can continue to live on Earth as just an animated skeleton. And if it does that, it goes to your job. It basically takes over your life. And so I get why people fear death if they think that's what's going to happen. And I think it's going to happen because I just said it. Alternatively, I mean, there are other theories, but I'm pretty sure it's this one. I'm pretty sure it's the skeleton jumping around doing shit. Well, I guess it won't be me. It'll be like a separate consciousness is what I think is what I intended initially. So even I can't follow this. So I once again have to roll out the red carpet has been rolled out. I saw paparazzi. I saw helicopters flying overhead, because you'll never guess who is walking into this building like the biggest piece of shit you've ever seen. I think you know I'm talking about Slurp Von Lipstick. That is the real name of a real man who really exists. And most people are not happy with any of those facts, including the man himself. A lot of his behavior is just born out of self-hatred. A lot of people don't realize this. I realize it. I have completely different religious beliefs as a result of meeting Slurp Von Lipstick, and not of a positive kind, not of a positive nature. It's complicated, but I'm making a new religion in which Slurp Von Lipstick actually embodies the satanic figure. I don't think he's really fully human. I think he's there's some kind of supernatural thing going on here. And yes, I'm talking about Supernatural, the television show. The only thing I'd like to say about that show is that it's just funny to me that Dean Winchester remains like an atheist through the series, or through like the first half or something. I don't know how long. Even though he had done battle with like demons and stuff, so he just thought like the demons are real, but all the other stuff, like you would think it's like a package deal. Like if you met a demon, you'd be like, oh, I guess like God is a real guy, I guess. Not thinking, oh, this is just some other a la carte metaphysical divine aspect of reality that has no connection. And this is supposed to be a smart guy. So I'm gonna go to the bathroom and I'm gonna do whatever I have to do. But I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and as I do what I do in there, Slurp Von Lipstick is gonna come out here, and he's gonna do what he's born to do: tell you the time. He's gonna do time check. Okay, I'm gonna go. Hey, what's up everybody? Go team. That's right, whatever the sports team is that we are going for, go them. I hope everybody wins. My name is Slurp Von Lipstick. I don't know anything about sports, don't know anything about literature, don't know anything about books, don't know anything about cars, don't know anything about the sky, don't know anything about trees. Here's the thing about time. If you didn't have time, you wouldn't be able to organize or internally sequence and categorize your experiences. So things would be happening out of order. You don't want to go to your high school prom tomorrow. And you definitely don't want to be born yesterday. You want to be born a little bit ago so you know what's going on. And so that's where time comes in. Time helps you keep track of it. Wow, I guess that gives me a lot to think about anyway. The time is 12:19 a.m. That's going to be Eastern Standard Time. And if you're in a different time zone, Look, I'm sure there are great people among you, but your time is just wrong compared to my time. Mountain time zone, give me a break. It's not like stuff's moving faster high up, is it? Everybody have the same time zone. I'm very much in favor of a universal time zone. And I don't care if it would be even more confusing. I want to make life a living hell for everyone on Earth, or my name isn't Slurp Von Lipstick. It's something normal, like Fred. Also, a career update. I'm no longer head of the Department of Clocks for the US government. Nobody is. There's still a Department of Clocks, but it's unmanned, unstaffed. It's gone dark, but the clocks are still running. I hope they're running on time. Too bad there's no one to check them. So that does give me the chance to pour all my energy, all of my focus into time check. And I think that's already immediately paying dividends. I think, as you noticed, just the quality of the segment has improved. A lot of people are saying to me, you provide an indispensable service to the American public. And I say you're absolutely correct. I mean, these are Army generals coming up to me. These are colonels. These are lieutenant colonels. These are lieutenant generals. These are sergeant majors. These are lieutenant majors. These are 4-star majors. These are 5-star sergeants as well. They're coming up to me. They're saying, thank you for working for the Department of Clocks. Time is important in war. And I said, you got that right. Sun Tzu said that. He said, you gotta be at the war on time? He's right. So I think that's all I had for you in terms of time news. I can't think of anything else. It continued to pass. Here's an interesting thing about the seconds. They get really big, they get really small. There's 59 of them, then there's none. Where are those 59s? Where are all of them? Where are they going? Trying to be honest about the time, trying to be an honest reporter of time as it passes. I'm not going to give you the wrong time or like the time in a different time zone unless you live in a different time zone, in which case you're using the wrong time, because my time is the one that's correct. It's called relativity. Look it up on the internet. You know the big thing? You know the big huge thing with all the fucking answers on it? Have you had a look at the answer machine recently? There's all conceivable knowledge is available to you. And yet it's so weird that this doesn't seem to come naturally to people. Like, you'll see a lot of discussions online where it's like, someone's like, who's this Benjamin Netanyahu character? But it never occurs to them, and then they'll get like, something will happen where like they'll get called out for it, and they'll get in a huge long argument that then makes up a much larger fraction of their time than if they had just looked it up. But instead they chose violence that day, and they went down the path of getting in a 100 message long argument with a guy who has a profile picture that indicates he responds quickly. I don't have to tell you what I mean by that. He just looks like he's waiting for you to put the ball in his court. This is his whole thing. This is his whole deal. Nothing else has worked out for him, so it's the comment section it is. This is normal. This is the normal way to interact with people. By the way, in case you forgot, I'm still Slurp Von Lipstick. I can have insights too. It's not just that other fucking jackass who says deep shit. I can do it too. You just make it up. So I have been a Slurp Von Lipstick, and I'm now out of the thing I love the most. That's right, time. But it's been a pleasure to inform you of what time it is, so that now you know. What you do with it is not my responsibility. I mean, maybe you need to know what time it is so that you know where to be to like rob someone's house or something like that. Like I'm the one who's keeping you on schedule. I remain completely neutral, so I'm not in favor of burglary, but I'm not against it either. So hey, catch you on the flip side, dudes. It's been Slurp. Wow, what a guy. You know what I'm starting to notice about him? I was saying that thing about snail slime. He did leave a little bit of a slime trail, I'm noticing. That is a slime trail. Suddenly, the fact that he's been tried for so many crimes makes a lot more sense in light of that. I never noticed that. But all the crimes he's done, yeah, it makes sense why he was caught. So you can see why I kind of despise him at a very deep level. There's something at the core of his being which simply does not sit well with me. Like, I wish Slurp Von Lipstick did have an immaterial soul just so I could hate it. That's how I became religious, so I could hate Slurp Von Lipstick with the proper cosmic scale that is called for. Well, anyway, happy Tuesday. See you